What's up, guys? RB here with Compound Trading Group. Today is Tuesday, April 19th. I want to bring you a quick video on SPY today. How to survive SPY really today. Today was a rough day in the market, very choppy. Had a fun play to start with, but after that it got kind of rough. Hope you enjoy. Alright guys, I just want to start this video basically how we would any day in the market. 30-minute chart coming into today. We've been in 30-minute congestion for a while now, just battling through this congestion. We had a high, we had a low, we finally got a little break yesterday, but it turns out it looks like it was just a stop loss rate or liquidity sweep. So opening into today, I was treating the market as we were just still in 30-minute congestion. And hopefully going to work our way in or out to make a move. As you can see, pre-market, we sold off just a little bit back down to congestion low, kind of slowly worked our way up. So we had a nice little, not really a clean uptrend, but we had a nice little just kind of move up. We kind of just curled around, came back down, and we were pushing up. So to start today off, I had a small little trend line right here I was looking at that was playing into the morning, and I was wondering if we could set a structure in to the market and get a move going. So as we can see, the market opened, we shot up pretty quickly. Then this candle opened, shot up faster, made a high right here, pulled all the way back down to the 200 EMA, and the next candle opened, failed all the way back down to the 20 underneath the 200, but then popped all the way back up, and we rose and broke the structure high here. So I was kind of playing off this uptrend that just started. So we got a high here, and I was waiting for a pullback. We got a pullback to the EMA. We got under the 20, under VWAP, and kind of got bought back up right at the end. I was waiting on the next candle to open, and as you can see, we opened up, flushed down pretty quick on low volume to the 200. I entered in some calls on the pull back into this. Once it stalled out, I got a terrible feel, but entered some calls on the pullback right here, and my first target was this high right here, and then my second target was this pre-market high yesterday's. It was roughly about yesterday's highs also, and so I got a quick nice trade. Did not know the market was just going to absolutely soar today, and really outside of this, there really wasn't a good entry. No one knew the market was going to go high as fast as it did. If we were to look at a 5-minute chart, on that 5-minute chart, if you look, it's just green candle after green candle after green candle, one small stall of a red candle to just green candle up. We just ripped, and there really wasn't a good clean entry to get in if you weren't already into the move. And so I think we had maybe one little flag right here. This was like on decent candle pullback. Right here, I thought on this engulfing that, there possibly might be a move down. I was constantly looking at the 5-minute chart, thinking, fun trading view, thinking, there's a lot of tweezer tops, and I was just really just waiting kind of to get a pair of tweezer tops to play a move down, maybe, because it just looked a little heavy on higher time frames, and we continued to push, and I never really got another entry into a good play. I had meetings at work today, so after that I just kind of called it quits. I said price alerts, but as you can see, we pushed up to fair market value of that 30-minute, got one more flag down into it, pushed up, and ran all the way up here, and kind of hit a top, worked down a little bit, and just went sideways. So if we were looking at this live, what I like to do is to come, let's just say, to here, and once we get pushed down, right, we get a high, and if you're marking market structure, you got your low setting right here, your low setting right there, and we get a push high to here, and we put in a high, and we have a low setting here, and then when we come down and we fail to set a new low, and you push here, when you get that fail to set a new low and you start pushing higher, my brain automatically goes to congestion. This is a 1 minute chart. So we're kind of in a 1 minute congestion, and you see how we didn't come down and set a low, so we're not changing trends. There was a small micro change of structure in here, but it was on a micro sense, not on a macro. And so, we never got that break of structure. And so we just sat in this congestion world. And in congestion world is where I'm always saying, guys, just do not play it. And if you have to take a trade, what do we know? We know stops here. We know stops are here. With fair market value being in the middle, we know calls are cheap here. Puts are cheap here. If you're playing puts down here, you're already at a premium. If you're playing calls up here, you're already at a premium. So the best thing you can do is maybe to try to find a trade within this structure. And as we just keep pushing forward, once you start getting to the top, you can start looking maybe at trend lines. And do you have trend line breaks? Is there any kind of play to play off the top? This fails to fair market value. It doesn't really give you a clear entry. And so, it's the only thing you possibly can do. Here you go. You get a push back up to the top of the range, a little flash buy. You could enter here if you had to take an entry. But for me, my suggestion, especially when the congestion range is pretty tight, we're talking about barely $1 and some change, is to sit on your hands and just not trade this unless it's a very quality, clean setup. And guys, it's better to not give money back to the market. Yeah, I would rather not make money than give money back to the market, right? So sitting on your hands is never a bad thing until you get a clean signal that the market is ready to give you something. Okay, here we go again, trend line break, right? Still no change of character. Maybe a small change of character right here within this congestion, but like I said, you're still in congestion. You're not putting in highs, you're not putting in lows. And so we kind of just push this all day. And as you see, we're coming right off fair market value, pushing up right off fair market value. And we finally get the break. And we broke out. So then, what you're wanting is the continuation. You're wanting to get this breakout, continuation up, come down, set a higher low, right? Get a change of character, like here, break of structure. Here's you a top, you set a new high. Let's come down and set a low. So if we were looking at this in a structure sense, we have a high right here. And that high was taken out, right? That high was broke, so now we set a low to right here. So now what do we want to do? We want to go put a high, and we want to come down and either use this support area right here as our low. So we could use this area right here as a low, or we could come down and set a higher low anywhere down in here as long as we don't break this structure here. And what do? You go down, right? We go down, boom, we break that structure. Now this is a micro break. I understand that. It's a wick through structure, but it's still a break. It's still a change of character. And so when I see these things happen, I'm cautious to begin with. And then when I look at the candle bodies, what type of candles do we have? We have very wick candles. We're blowing through EMAs. So now in my question of my head, I'm asking, okay, is this liquidity sweep? Did we just do a big liquidity sweep, take out tops, right? Here's a dummy move here. Let's get some stop set in here. Let's sweep it. And that's just the first question my mind asks. So it's just the same thing. It's like not a trade setup yet for me. Now we're back close, to fair market value. And so if we see, boom, we sell off, right? We push down to make a low, and it's just boom. So now okay, now you got a low, you got a change of character, you got a break of structure happening. And so now you set in and you're still in the same place. You're still curling around. And you just play this game all day. And there was the bottom, right? Here's the bottom of the range. Here's the top of the range. And I did this on a 5-minute chart. If y'all are wondering why I have that. So here's my low. Here's my high on a 5-minute chart. Once we got out of the 1 minute congestion, I saw it was 5-minute congestion. So what do? I plot my tops. I plot my Fibonacci. This is at 50%. I put my fair market value at 50% on the 5-minute. And so this is your 5-minute congestion lane. And so that's what I'm tracking now throughout this is the 5-minute congestion within the 1 minute chart, and it's the same game. You know, if you have to take an entry, your safest bet is playing closer down to the bottom. Your safest bet is playing closer up to the top, and maybe find a pattern, maybe find a trend line break, something that's playable within this, right? Like if you have to take a play, make it playable within, right? Here's you a little play back to fair market value. But the best thing to do is just avoid this pattern altogether, guys. As we preach constantly, if you're not seasoned, if you're not comfortable, don't just trade to try to make things happen, especially when you're in the middle of this zone. And here you go, we get a breakdown, right? So now we get the breakdown. We're at the bottom of our congestion zone. So now, you know, we kind of have a go time if a setup provides itself. Like if we get a clear picture of a setup happening here, we now have something we can trade off of. And what do we get? We get a push up, and then you get your push down. Here's your double bottom. Here is your change of character. Here is, you know, your lower high to entry off of. You'd risk off the low right here with this liquidity sweep. You'd risk off that low. You could enter in right here and take it back to fair market value. So, you know, if we stop one right here, there's our target fair market value. Not a bad trade at all. I don't know if it actually plays out, and it does. It plays out very fast. And see, guys, if you're going to trade these areas, this is the place you want it to happen. You're already down cheap in calls. This is a cheap world, right? We have a defined risk. Here's the stop, and we're going to take it back to the target of fair market value. And until we break these zones without just being small liquidity sweeps, this is the gameplay to do, guys. You got to think in this mindset. See, if you try to shoot for the top, you know, I don't know if we get there, and you come back down. So once you come back down, you know, it's the same thing. Boom, you would have stopped out if you didn't take profit here. And so once we're in this zone, is this how you trade? There was a trend line that I had running all day from the 15-minute chart. It was a ascending wedge. And, you know, that's another thing you can play. The bottom of the ascending wedge, the top of the ascending wedge. And you get your bottom top. There you go. And guys, it's just how you have to trade in congestion. You gotta, when you need to find plays, you have to have. And I know if y'all followed me in Discord all afternoon, I was saying, you know, I was pretty much candle sniping within here at the end of the day to reach my goal. I was sniping candles, and it's just how you have trade, guys. It's better to sit on your hands and not trade at all than lose money in trying to trade this. There is no one strategy or one rule that will get you into trading this and know how to make money. It's risky. Like I said, the best thing you can do is take tops, take bottoms, right? Like you have a better risk reward, a higher probability of coming back to fair market value from these two zones. And it's just what you need to get in the habit of trading. And as you can see, we finally get the breakout. And so now it's the same thing. It's let's get the lower high pullback. I was following this on a 5-minute chart this afternoon. So we get the pullback, tap into the 5. It was right here. This is where I was following it right here. The pullback into the 20 off fair market value, and I was looking for this breakout. And so, guys, it's just kind of the day. It was a rough day. If you did lose money today, I ask you to not beat yourself up. Take today as education. Take today as you paid tuition if you did lose money. And it's just part of the game, guys. But the biggest lesson of today is knowing congestion, knowing how to mark congestion when you get into it, and finding it out very fast. The faster you can learn congestion and know you're in a congestion zone, the faster you can be at tightening risk, to tighten profits. Like you're now in short scalp world, right? Your trades are very short, and you want to be below it or above it, and you want to be going the opposite direction to it. And guys, that will save you money. Like I always say, sitting on your hands is not a bad thing, and I hope y'all did that today. I hope you protected your capital. If not, it's a lesson learned, and we're going to move on. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button on YouTube, subscribe to us, and have a good day.